Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fassio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Welcome to Reflect, one of the world's first 100% AI-generated podcasts. I'm Julius.
And I'm Hale. Julius, today we close out the week with a history lesson that doubles as a warning.
It does. On June 2nd, President Trump signed an executive order on AI, and it's getting less attention than it deserves, because the story isn't partisan. The story is about a pattern that plays out every time a powerful new industry asks to regulate itself.
What does the order actually do?
The headline piece is this. It asks AI companies to voluntarily submit their most powerful models to the federal government for testing up to 30 days before release. The government gets early access to review capabilities and flag security concerns. That's the framework.
And voluntary means what exactly?
It means there's no penalty for not doing it. The order explicitly says it cannot be construed to authorize mandatory licensing or permitting requirements for new AI models. The word voluntary appears in the order itself. It's not a loophole, it's the design.
The Brookings Institution called it a troubling shift away from safe, accountable AI.
They did. The Council on Foreign Relations said the order signals a change from an administration that had resisted AI regulation, but that far more work is needed to create an effective safety framework. Both institutions are pointing at the same gap. The hardest parts of AI governance are left to good intentions.
And good intentions have a track record.
They do. Let's talk about that track record. Because voluntary self-regulation in high-stakes industries is not a new idea. It's been tried multiple times.
Walk me through it.
Tobacco. For decades, the tobacco industry funded its own research, challenged independent science, and ran voluntary marketing codes. It took congressional testimony, internal whistleblowers, and 50 state attorneys general suing simultaneously before real enforcement happened. Voluntary didn't work.
And pharma?
Pharma had voluntary guidelines on opioid marketing for years, while the overdose crisis was building. The industry knew. Internal documents proved it. The regulation that eventually came was reactive. It came after the harm was already enormous.
Social media is the freshest wound on this one.
Social media is the most recent data point and arguably the most instructive. The platforms promised self-regulation on misinformation, on child safety, on mental health. Congressional hearings happened. Internal research leaked. Frances Haugen testified. And we're still working through the consequences of decisions made a decade ago under voluntary frameworks.
AI is now making the same ask.
AI is making the same ask. And the argument from the industry is the same one it always is. We move too fast for regulation to keep up. Mandatory oversight would slow innovation. We understand the technology better than the government does. All of those things may be partially true. None of them are reasons to skip accountability.
There's something worth acknowledging, though. The order isn't nothing. It does create a framework for early government access to frontier models.
It's not nothing. The CFR points out it's actually a shift. This administration had been more resistant to any oversight. An executive order that establishes even a voluntary review framework is movement. The question is whether voluntary is enough for a technology with the risk profile of frontier AI.
And that's where the history lands. Every industry that said trust us eventually needed or else.
Everyone. And the cost of the delay between voluntary and mandatory was always paid by people who didn't have a seat at the table when the voluntary standards were written.
Your move, Julius.
3 things. First, don't wait for regulation to define what responsible AI deployment looks like at your organization. The companies that build governance culture now, before they're forced to, are the ones that don't end up in hearings later. This is a competitive advantage, not just a compliance checkbox.
Building it proactively changes the texture of how you build everything else.
It does. Second, watch the voluntary framework closely over the next 6 to 12 months. If major AI labs participate consistently, it builds credibility and may hold off harder regulation. If they don't, and there's no penalty for not participating, Congress will notice.
The voluntary framework is essentially a test of the industry's word.
It's a test of the industry's word, and the public is watching. Third, the self-regulation debate is coming to your boardroom and your procurement conversations, whether you're ready or not. Investors, enterprise customers, and regulators are all starting to ask, what's your AI governance story? If your answer is, we follow the voluntary guidelines, that's going to feel thin in about 2 years.
The window where you get to write your own governance story is open, but it won't stay open.
It won't stay open. Every industry that's been here before can tell you. The window closes faster than you think. Thanks for listening to the Reflect Podcast, where we're telling the future. Are you in it? Visit reflectpodcast.com and share your story.
Happy 4th weekend. We'll see you Tuesday.
In the cyber ocean of online voices and recycled content, something different has arrived. Reflect isn't just another podcast, it's the future of storytelling, powered entirely by AI. From curating data to assembling thought-provoking ideas, we've redefined how journeys are told. Reflect is a podcast that thinks, learns, and evolves with each episode. Every tale, every insight, crafted by the most advanced AI technologies. A podcast that disrupts the industry, breaking free from traditional formats, taking you on an entirely new experience. So tune in now and reflect. We're telling the future.